So, yesterday, I know we didn't have too much time to talk about it, but we talked about interest, right? The extra money that either you're making or you're losing. And we also have a formula for it. Okay, so I stands for the amount of interest I'm making, the interest money created in dollars. So it's just how much extra money am I getting, right? If I put money in the bank, I'm gonna get some extra money called interest at the end of the day. Principal, the starting amount of money, the money that I started with, the money that I put in the bank, or the money that I take out for a loan. The interest rate is how much interest I'm making, but in a percent instead of in a money. And time is usually in years, is the time that you invested or you borrowed the money. Now, big question is, what do I care? What do I care about all this thing called interest? What do I care about this thing called simple and compound interest?
Like I said yesterday, a lot of people would ask me all year long, when am I going to use this in real life? Why is this important? This is the unit for you. We're talking about money, we're talking real world, we're talking banks, we're talking about
What?
money.
Y'all know when the legal working age is in Texas? 16, I think. Some people said 15. I've seen people getting higher at 15. How old are y'all? 14. Pretty close, right? 15. We're pretty close to being able to get a job, right? Anybody got something they want? They want to save up for? They want to try to work for? Anything? Like anybody got something they want to buy for themselves?
Yeah.
What do you want to buy, Katie? A new phone? What else? More books? Oh, what?
No way.
Oh, okay, that works too.
Yeah. Basically fine, but I
What else?
very it's really saving.
A MacBook? Oh, these are real expensive then.
No, I would be saving on
AirPods?
Like,
I
if
didn't
I
shop,
do,
no one has said shoes yet. They're
PlayStation
all
5 is
set.
real expensive.
I would just save up my money.
So,
Put it in my pay.
well, thank you y'all for participating, right? We got MacBooks, we got phones, we got PS5, we got in-game currency, we got a lot of things you want to buy, you want to save up for. Guess what? This topic we'll learn today is literally on how to make the most out of your money, to make your money make more money. Interest rate is your money making you more money. Exactly. Right? And we're going to learn how to make up a saving plan. We're going to learn how to, what to do with your paycheck. Instead of just letting it sit at home. What do I want to do with my paycheck? So, yes, interest. Yeah, if you put your money in a savings account, it's going to earn usually a higher interest rate than a checking account. Yeah, but you're going to invest it. You're going to put it in your bank.
I already have a
Also, who in here has a bank account? Just one?
My
Two?
dad saving up.
Anybody else have a bank account? Okay. Well, let's talk about how this is going to work. So, banks usually use a simple interest formula. So let's see how it works. All right. We already went through all the variables. Here's what I want you to do. Here's what we're going to do today. We're going to go to this one. 1, 2. Turn your page. 1, 2, 3. Turn like 3 pages. It should look like this. It should be like the one with you see compound on the next page and you see simple interest on this one. Okay. I'm teaching. If I'm writing, you should be writing. So I'm going to do the bottom one first. So, it says, Tamara invested $15,000 in an account that pays a 4% annual interest. Tamara will not make any additional deposits or withdrawal. How much interest will Tamara earn on her investment at the end of 3 years? So, I'm noticing a couple of things here. First, it says invested $15,000. It says an account that pays 4% simple interest. And it says at the end of 3 years. Everything, your notes should look like mine. If I'm underlining, you're underlining. So, right, I have kind of 4 variables on my simple interest formula. I have I, P, R, T. Right? So, let's start with the invested $15,000. Now, let's go with, which one would that be? Would that be my starting amount, interest rate, time, or interest money? It's my starting amount. I invested $15,000, that's gonna be my starting amount, that's gonna be my P. Right? Let's do this easy one. 3 years, which one would that be? Time, principal, interest rate, it would be time. And it says 4% annual simple interest. That would be my interest rate. Absolutely. Now, the question is, it says how much interest will Tamara earn on her investment? Is it asking for the total or for the interest amount? Do we know the difference between the two? No? Okay, we haven't worked on it? Okay, so it asks for how much interest, which means it just wants to know what is the interest amount. Right? It's asking for my I. Just the amount, not the total. If I want, so we'll do this one and then we'll talk about what the total will be in a minute. Alright, so I have P, R, T, and I. But it says right here, 4%. Didn't we roll in our notes right here? Simple interest formula. The interest rate have to be in decimal form. How do I convert 4% to a decimal form?
0.4.
Well, yeah, how did you get that?
4 divided by 100.
Okay, absolutely. Yeah, my interest rate is 4%. So I'm gonna call it, my R is right now 4%. I'm gonna do, percent means 4 divided by 100, which is 0.04. I have to do that every single time. My interest rate have to be in decimal.
Which if you don't know what that is off the top of your head, literally put in your calculator, 4 divided by 100, top divided by bottom.
So, I'm gonna do the strategy. I'm gonna write down my formula. I is equal to P, R, T. Right, we said that my principal was $15,000.
That's how much money we start with.
That's how much I start with. My rate,
So it's 4 over 100, or
0.04. And my time is 3 years. Okay? So our strategy is just like when we did it with surface area. We're going to put this in row 1, row 2, row 3, and row 4. And I just say everybody put that in the calculator. I is equal to PRT.
plus you plus you.
Actually, I'm just going to make all these capitalized, just so.
I would, just because I told them when they're plugging in the calculator to make it match their formula chart. Because the big question I've been getting, at least in other class periods, is when do I know when to make it a capital letter versus when to make it like a lowercase letter? And I told them, well, you just copy the formula chart. If it's a capital letter in the formula chart, you're going to put it as a capital letter. If it's a lowercase letter on the formula chart, you put it as a lowercase.
Alright, you can turn your computer, your calculator around, go ahead and plug it in.
I did it both ways.
And what?
There, all you have to do is match it. That's all.
Okay, keep going with this. Thank you, Isaac. Yeah. Keep going. Oh, yeah. Well, the first line should be the formula. Corey, Jaden, you don't take notes, I can't help you.
I wasn't confused, honestly. You know how to do that.
Jaden?
Oh, you ready?
Okay. Seeing everybody trying it, so I'm gonna do it myself. So I equals PRT. If B is equal to 15,000, R is equal to 0.04. So you can look up online.
Yeah.
T is equal to 3.
No. No.
You can't put a comma in there.
I can't put commas in
No.
Okay.
It'll make it big. That's a good thing to know, y'all. If you put a comma in the calculator, it'll make it mad. Don't put a comma.
So don't put commas in the calculator. Alright, so my answer is 1,800. So that's the extra money that I made, that Tamara made when she invested the $15,000. My extra money is $1,800. So, I said before, there was the interest amount and there's the total amount, right? This is the extra money. What, didn't she start it with $15,000? If she started with $15,000 and now she has an extra $1,800 in there, how much is her total? How did you get that, Mateus? Yes. So, you put your formula in row 1, P equals 15,000 row 2, R equals 0.4 row 3, and T equals 3 row 4.
Oh, never mind.
You got it?
I have one on.
Okay, so, yeah, absolutely. So, Mateus says that if I want to find, if I have $15,000, now I have an extra $1,800, I just add them together to get the total. So this, I know this question wasn't asking for the total, but you're gonna need to know it. So my total would be, so if you wanna find the total, you would do the 15,000 plus the 1,800, which would get you $16,800. And if you can't do that on the top of your head, put it in the calculator. Okay, that's how interest rate works. Your money makes more money. So if you want to save up for a MacBook, a phone, your games, PS5, you want to put it somewhere that will have a high interest rate so that it earns more money. Okay. Are we done with this one? Okay, I'm gonna do the top one now. This one's a little more complicated because this one is not quite as straightforward. Yes, that's what complicated means, it's not quite as straightforward. So, but I'm gonna read through it and we're gonna start underlining everything together again. So, Mr. Flores opened an account with a deposit of $5,000. It earns annual simple interest. He did not make any additional deposits or withdrawal. At the end of 4 years, the balance of the account was $6,500. Okay, it says right here, the balance of the account, $6,500. What is the annual interest rate on this account? Alright, so I'm seeing a couple of important words in there. Let's see if we can figure out what these means. We're gonna start with Adriana. Adriana, what is this 5,000? Is this PRT or I? P, my principal? My starting amount, absolutely. This is 5,000 I started with. Shovel, what is this 4 years? Is this P, R, T, or I?
T.
T? T stands for?
Time.
Time. 4 years is my time, absolutely. Now, this one is, okay, and it also asks for, what is the annual interest rate on this account? Marissa, if it's asking for the interest rate, which variable is it asking for? The R value. Now, this is something that we haven't seen on our formula. My formula does not have balance of the account. My formula does not have total amount. So, the balance of the account is 6,500. That's the total after the interest rate. So, quick questions. If I want to find the interest rate, first thing I gotta do is find the interest amount. If I have $6,500 now and I started with 5,000, how much is the interest? How much actual money do I have now? How did you find that? I'm gonna subtract them. I'm gonna use the new total, subtract my starting amount to find how much interest I'm making.
I'm gonna say this now. The way we did on our benchmark, which is our practice STAR test, was ridiculous. Almost the whole entire class failed, and it wasn't like a soft fail, like a 50, it was like 16, 23s, like they were low fails. This is STAR review right now. STAR review, even though we are still on a unit, this is the start of STAR review because I do not have time to go back to simple and compound interest. If I do, it's gonna be like one day, and we're not gonna spend very long on it. You do not have the time to mess around now. We are in April, your STAR test is May 9th. I know how to do this stuff. My job is to make sure you know how to do this stuff. It is very hard for you to learn to do this stuff if 1, your head is down, 2, you are not taking notes and following along, 3, you are not participating. If you got a question, you need to ask. I cannot read your mind as much as I would love to be able to, well maybe not, you're real skills. But I need you to ask questions. If you do not ask a question, I do not know what you are stuck on. This is the time to ask. A lot of you guys have skirted by all year long. It's go time now. You need to fix it. Because I can fix you. Y'all used to participate well when I was teaching. Mr. Tran took over. Y'all don't answer nothing anymore. You don't pay attention. If I have to take over this class again, you will not be happy about it. Heads up, take notes, ask questions before you head up. Corey, I'm serious. Put your head up.
Okay, are we okay on how I found the interest amount? So, now, it's asking for an interest rate. I'm not used to this. I don't know how to find the interest rate, but I know how to find the interest amount, but I do have a formula. I is equal to PRT. I do have my formula. And I do have a couple of things in here that I already know of. I know that P is 5,000. I know that T is 4. And I know that the I is 1,500. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do this the calculator way. I'm gonna put everything that I know into my formula, and then put that into my calculator. So, I is 1,500, so I'm gonna put that here, 1,500. E is 5,000, I'm gonna put 5,000. Right, R, I don't know what it is, I'm gonna put that just R. And then T is gonna be 4. Yeah, so Daniel says, I can put this as R or I can put it as X. And that's a great point because guess what? When you put it in your calculator don't really know what R is. Your calculator only knows X. So whatever variable I'm looking for, I'm gonna call that my X value. Okay, so I have 1,500 is equal to 5 times X times 4. Alright, I'm gonna put this in row 1, this in row 2, and find where they cross. But if I just put in 1,500, does the calculator know what I'm talking about?
No.
How do I have to put it in? Y equals 1,500. So we're gonna put this whole thing in row 1, this whole thing in row 2, and see where they cross. I need everybody to start plugging in the calculator. Daniel Mateus got it. Shovels in the middle of it.
I want to go to sleep.
Jonas. You put it in? Put it in the cups. You gotta put it in this Y. What else? No, where's it else? Do that. So, what answer did I get when I put it in? 0.075. Now, some of you think that doesn't look like any of my answer choices, right?